Hi everyone, my name is Kartik and my channel is about mental models. In this video I will be looking at diminishing returns. In the beginning, when we do something, we generally get some form of result. But after a while, the same amount of effort doesn't translate to the same level or amount of result or output. Similarly, when we experience something new, we will have a certain level of enjoyment, excitement, or even satisfaction. But again, if we continue to have the same experience over and over again, the level of enjoyment, excitement, satisfaction will not be as high as before. This is what diminishing returns is all about. A very good example is that in the UK there are days when employees can bring their children to work. This usually happens around Christmas, and for the majority of employees, the children that are attending the workplace are under 10 years old. When the children come into the office or place of work, they are all usually very excited to see all the computers, floor-to-ceiling windows, big desks, big chairs with wheels that swivel around, and general office paraphernalia. I remember when I went to my dad's place of work many years ago, it was amazing. And even after all of these years, I still remember sitting for the first time on a leather Chesterfield sofa. It was epic. But the parents of the children are, of course, much less excited because they experience the same environment day in, day out. And so this is what this mental model looks like in reality. The parents are past the point of diminishing returns and so are not as excited than their children are, who are definitely not past that point yet. Let me represent this graphically. So here I've got input, and these three amounts of input are the same lengths. And then up here we've got output. And so drawing this out, this is kind of what it looks like. And so there are sort of three phases or three areas of this graph. At the start, sort of here, at the start, every little bit of input produces a proportional gain or a result or output. And so for this much input, you have all of this output or result. Once you hit the point, which is here, the point of diminishing returns, once you hit that point, any additional input or effort produces a lower gain or output. So if we go here, this is the amount of additional output. So the amount of input is the same between this phase and here, but the amount of output is so much less. And that is because we have passed the point of diminishing returns. So in this example here, the parents are in this sort of middle block, whereas the children are sort of in this initial phase of excitement. And lastly, once you go past this point, once you go past here, which is the point of maximum output, you will start to get negative returns. So it's sort of going down. And I'm not going to draw that on the sort of vertical axis because there's no point. We're sort of losing our output, losing our returns. So this is what diminishing returns looks like graphically. So what is the point of this mental model? The point is that it's all about allocating resources efficiently. You want to focus on the areas where you can make the biggest, or you can get the biggest bang for your buck. You can make the biggest gains. And this can mean that in certain scenarios, it is better to move on to something else rather than continuing with what you have been doing. So if you're deciding between two projects, it might be better to stop one that you've been doing for a long time but now are not getting the same level of output and moving on to something else where you could get bigger gains. Diminishing returns is also the reason why it is much harder to go from good to great. At something when compared to going from sort of a beginner level to good, or going from bad to good at that same something. This is much harder than sort of these two. And that is because progress becomes more difficult. More and more effort or more and more work is required to get better, and progress happens in smaller increments. And so the next time you are trying the 15th squeeze of a lemon and managing to only get a droplet out of it, take a step back and ask yourself, am I experiencing diminishing returns? Am I past the point of diminishing returns? And would it be better to move on to either another lemon or a completely different task? And with that question, that is all for this video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, then you may like watching these two videos flashing on screen now. Feel free to give them a watch. And I will see you in the next video with another mental model. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.